Hey everyone, welcome back to Authentic Hustle to all our amazing thousands of listeners by now. So we are show 34. So thanks for tuning in today from wherever you're tuning in, YouTube, X, or LinkedIn, wherever you're tuning in. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have amazing Colin Harms joining us from Lethbridge and Kelly Kennedy from Edmonton. So good to meet you all. I'm VJ. So let's dive in today. So we are spinning the wheel. Let me get the wheel set up. Sorry, I didn't open the website.
That's okay. Yes. That's okay. That's 34 episodes. We'll do better at 104, right?
There we go. Let's spin it for the day. All right, 3 topics. Business development. What actually creates connection with cold prospects? The podcasting and entrepreneurship space. Authentic hustle. Can you scale a business without hiring a sales team? Interesting. Third one is, should you focus on YouTube or launch a podcast? Great.
Okay. Well, I do feel like I actually was forced to pick last time, so I'm pawning that off on one of you.
Colin.
Can you scale a business without hiring a sales team?
Okay.
Oh.
Interesting. Can you scale a business without hiring a sales team? That's the topic for the day, guys.
Okay.
Well, Colin, you picked it. You start.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I was going to give you some stats. We've had 1 download. No, I'm just kidding.
No, half actually. Not even a whole one.
Now that we're able to go live, everything is working with the exception of my microphone and headphones. This is what live is all about. I'm not sure what's going on there, but let's tackle this beast. I like this topic because I'm experiencing it right now as in a growth trajectory in the business. I think more is better. More salespeople are better. More business development people are better. If we don't hire up, how the heck are we going to expand? How the heck are you going to get that reach that you need, right? If you're one and done, right? If I go look at myself and I'm going to tackle, growth in a region or we're international, so in a different country, I have to have salespeople, right? There's no other way around it. And that may be in VJ's world of going more, not chatbots, but AI salespeople. I believe that's the way it's going. I do believe that's the way it's going. And I need to talk to you about that more. But let's just say, I think the whole premise of the AI salesperson is being able to broaden our reach. Right? VJ, maybe you can touch on that. Maybe a good intro for you to touch that.
Right. I mean, I just posted a video that we shot a while ago in terms of we are fully online, guys. I mean, we don't have like a physical presence, a full-blown office, or like 20-member sales team. No, actually. So you got to show up. You do the business development. You got to do the work, do the business development, do the sales. It's like a lot of hats, right? So it is what it is. In 2025 and beyond, I think AI has an enormous role to play. And if you're leveraging AI, I'm sure many are. If you can leverage AI, that's fantastic. And how can you? It's like multiplying your time, right? Let's say you have 1 hour for sales and business development. How can you scale it to let's say 20 hours with AI, right? So that's the kind of power that we have. And you're able to make hundreds and thousands of calls with that. There's a cost associated to it, of course, but the AI can do it's like magic, right? You put in a phone number and a spreadsheet, it can just call people and then leave a voicemail, right? So that is possible. So,
I think it's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? I don't think we're quite there yet to be able to scale through AI salespeople at the scope that we really want to in the connection way that we want to, right? But I think we're on the right track. I think maybe that would be a better way of putting it. I'm still a massive advocate of human-to-human interaction. And I really believe that those initial interactions, they really do need to be with an authentic person, somebody that you can connect with. Obviously, we are seeing the advancement of AI agents. agentic. I believe they call it agentic AI. VJ, you're the smart one on this stuff. Agentic AI. And we are seeing the advancement of that. And actually, just as like an example, I want to say that I called a phone number the other day that it rang me. And when it answered, it was like, hey, this is Kaylee, an AI agent. And it was so perfect. I almost couldn't tell. Like, had it not said that I am an AI agent answering the phone, I don't think I would have known. That's how close it was. I don't know the company. It was just a weird random robocall, but I called back and it was a robo person that answered and it was nearly perfect. And so I think maybe we're on the path to where you could have somebody pick up the phone and maybe route it. But, when I look at the way that I reach out to people, like, I talked to you guys, I tried Expandy for LinkedIn. And very quickly, I think I give it about a month. I give it a fair trial. But there were things about the automated connection that I just didn't like. The forced replies, the fact that I needed to give it, in this particular case, 3 responses. And I kind of thought about it from the standpoint of like, I don't typically respond 3 times. Like I'll drop a message and I'll hit the ball over the fence and I'll wait for somebody to get back to me, right? Like that's the human thing to do. We're typically not like reaching back out with another message when we haven't got something back, in the first week or something like that, right? So There were things about the way that it was customized that I wasn't really a fan of. I still find that I get my best connections, my best responses when it's me simply hand typing a message to somebody on LinkedIn, simply doing my cold outreach, my emails, my phone calls, asking for that meeting, right? I still think humans have the edge and will continue to have the edge for a very, very long time. Do I think that we can scale utilizing tools? Absolutely. And the way that VJ had mentioned it in the beginning, it's how do you automate the things that maybe don't require that human touch, right? That's it. There's still going to be a lot of things that require the human touch, but the more things that we can automate that don't require that, the day-to-day monotonous tasks, creating the data entry, the CRM inputs, maybe the searches or the research that we must do. If we can automate those things, great. But I think make sure that you're automating the right things, that you're strategically thinking about. Not everything should be automated. I'm a true believer in that.
Right. I don't have like the thing. I mean, try and see what works for anyone. And of course, like I resonate with what you say, Kelly. I mean, keeping that personal relationships, like most of the sales that actually converts are the one where you have the personal relationship.
Totally.
Right. I mean, when we don't know, and if an AI makes a call and we have hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of product just with an AI call, no, it's not happening. I don't want to promise that to anyone either. But at the same time, if you have like massive, I mean, the other day I don't want to name the company, but I called my internet provider, right? I mean, we were on the line for 40 minutes and to get to a person, we want to upgrade or change the plan or whatever. So 30, 40 minutes waiting call. And I call the insurance provider. We have to be on the line for 1 hour. Of course, there's a callback mechanism. Many times they don't even call back. We put the number to call back. They don't call back, right? And if that, where you're dealing with hundreds and thousands, millions of customers, where you're struggling to do customer support for inbound processing. So that is one other avenue I'm seeing. Let's say you want to book an airline ticket, right? I mean, you call instantly, Air Canada picks it up and it helps you book the ticket, right? So that is a way, that is one avenue I'm seeing AI could be employed. So, I mean, customer support is one phenomenal area for improvement. And I think this can help. And outreach, especially for business development in the small business world, I would still think doing those personal calls, Kelly, like you said, those are still valuable. But when you're at the scale, let's say when you're doing millions of calls just to book a meeting, right? And in those cases, maybe this can be helpful is what I think. Yeah. I'm still making those personal calls myself. I've not like delegated it to AI yet. So
yeah. The business developer in me is like, what are you doing making millions of calls to sell one thing?
I know.
You're not doing your ideal customer profiling. Fix that immediately.
Right. I don't know, credit cards.
Yeah. You're right. There's going to be use cases for it. Colin, I'd love your take on this because, you're in very high ticket sales, right? Mm-hmm. When you're selling something, I think base price probably around what, $120,000, $150,000 base cost.
Yeah.
What is your take on utilizing AI? Do you think that you will get to a point where you can automate that process, or do you think human in the loop is just always going to be there?
I think a hybrid of both. I think the AI portion may come from developing sales list or potential leads, but not to reach out, like more to give me, an Excel spreadsheet of here's potential leads.
Yeah.
You can give me all the cold leads in the world. We're still going to have to follow up. And we're going to test and measure that because we're launching an online store tomorrow and Friday. With the online commerce, the e-commerce, we're going to really notice real quick how much personal touch, because up until this day, if I back to the first day of the business we own now, 1980 till now, we've never had real e-commerce.
Yeah.
We've had, almost business to customer, right? It's been that way, and manufacturer to customer. Not great. We've done a good job at doing a bad thing. If that makes sense. So now with e-commerce though, I think we could use AI to drive people to the store, right? I don't think they'll mind that, but those are what we would call consumables. And I think that's okay to scale that business 100%, because it doesn't work to phone and say, hey, do you want to order a $75 item? Hey, do you need this? We will need the personal touch to maybe describe, but videos can do that. I did watch a video VJ had, where a video, I'll give you an example. I remember you and Brian were doing this thing, and it's a plumber or an electrician. What's the problem you're having? Here's the item. Direct it straight to our store. Same thing could be doing in the products that we manufacture or sell. But I think as far as scaling a business, getting mass growth, we still need boots on the ground, making those personal interactions, because the person on the other end, we're talking a large item, right? If they're acquiring those pieces, there's still a human on the other end, right? It's not a straight pass through. However, after we've made that contact, I think AI could come in and really lessen the human element of it, right? It's just a reorder point, almost, in my growth in my business, to scale is a little bit of a hybrid, I guess, right? It's the human interaction needs to bring them to the pond, right? And then once they're there, I think AI could somewhat take over, and even through the store, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's really important to remember that we are really speculating. Yeah. We really are. We are really speculating. To all of our listeners right now, we don't have the answers. We are at iPhone 1. And I always say that when we're talking about AI, I always say, look, we're at iPhone 1. We didn't know, Steve Jobs didn't know at iPhone 1 what iPhone was going to become. He was just starting the idea. I think we're going to create something that's going to give people the internet in their hand, right? When you have the internet in your hand, what does that mean? Well, the applications haven't been made yet to show you what that'll mean. We know now that it's pretty friggin' exceptional. I think it's important to remember that with AI, right? AI, I can't remember exactly what it is, but I believe the power is doubling, something like once every 6 months or twice, 2 times as powerful every 6 months, if I remember correctly. And essentially what that meant was that from 2023 to 2028, by the time we hit 2028, AI is going to be 1,000 times more powerful than it was in 2023. My mind was blown the first time I used ChatGPT. So what does that mean? 1,000 times more powerful. Nobody has the answers. Vijay, you did an exceptional presentation inside Catalyst Club last week talking about it's not about having all the answers. It's about taking strategic steps along the way. So it's not such a gigantic shock. At 1,000 times more power, that you already have some AI integrated into your systems. You are really making the case that, that Blockbuster didn't see Netflix coming. And had they prepared better, had they started thinking about the digital world, they might not have been completely wiped out by Netflix. And you mentioned the same case with Uber and taxis. We were just in Calgary, and I was making the comment that I don't see any taxis here. And you're like, yeah, dude, they're gone.
Yeah, gone. I mean, in the late 90s and the early 2000s, I'm sure when people started using internet, no one trusted it, actually. I mean, no one had the buy-in of the internet. Oh, no, I still want to go to the store and make the purchase. No one would put a credit card on a website. Oh, I don't know. What if it gets lost? I mean, nothing would happen. Actually, you can just call the bank and then block the card. It's as simple as that. It's very difficult to explain it, but it is what it is. And I mean, today people buy hundreds and thousands of dollars of products. I mean, we do it on Amazon all the time, right? So it happens. I think for anyone beyond the sales team, if anyone is selling, I think they should target, also try and sell it globally. I'm sure Colin is already doing that, and many other businesses. I'm sure, like if you're not selling on your website to a global customer, then you're doing it wrong. You should do it. We have had global purchase on our website on Jadwal, so you should have an e-commerce presence, absolutely. And if people are not able to put a credit card in and check out instantly, so that's the model I think will be the future model, which actually reduces the reliance just on one country. And I'm just not picking on US, but I'm just saying it reduces reliance on just one country, and it expands your business portfolio to the rest of the globe. And if you can offer a product to in Canada, you can also offer a product in the same product in New Zealand or Australia, right? So that's where we are running with. That's what we're running with. I'm no expert again, but I think that is a model that will work for a lot of companies to be able to have that e-commerce checkout mechanism that you see on many of these bigger products, but you should also have it on small businesses as well.
Yeah. And to the listeners listening right now, if you are implementing AI to help you scale, to help you automate some of these tasks, please share with us in the comments what programs you're using, right? Because I think that'd be super valuable to the people who find this video in the future. Put in the comments on YouTube, on LinkedIn, what programs are you guys utilizing right now to maximize your reach, to maximize your time, your strategy? Love to hear it. Vijay, like I said, you're very much an expert in this space. You spend a lot of time thinking about the future. You spend a lot of time creating programs for the future. If people are starting to take steps today, like if people do want to start to maximize their time, scale, I know inside the presentation that we did together, you had a whole bunch of programs that you'd actually recommended. But for the people listening right now, if you had to recommend, let's call it 3 to 5 programs and maybe what they do, what would you be recommending today for people to start taking steps into the future?
Yeah, the reason I didn't recommend that, Kelly, is I did it on purpose because you cannot recommend, hey, this is the product you got to use. Let's say I go and tell, hey, you have to be an Android phone user. Instantly, people would flip. No, I love iPhones, right?
Sure.
So then let's say you recommend a Microsoft product. They would say, no, I love a Google product. So there's a lot of give and take in that. So try and see what works for you, even with AI, right? I mean, people have started using ChatGPT. I mean, also try out Grok. I mean, Grok is fantastic if you want to gather more real-time observation of get deep into an issue and then understand what it is. Grok is great. I mean, have you tried Gemini?
I've heard about Grok, but I don't know what it is. Can you maybe explain it to me? I've heard that it's like Elon Musk's AI. Can you maybe go a little deeper into that for me?
Yeah. So Grok is basically OpenAI. I mean, OpenAI initially was started to be an open AI, to be like a full open source kind of an AI. That's what the initial thing. And Elon invested $100 million into it, and it took off in a different direction. But Elon came back, and of course, he purchased X, and he started its own AI company called XAI. So Grok is an initiative of that. So it's a part of XAI, and it's evolving phenomenally. I mean, it's not behind ChatGPT. It's probably the number 2 app in the App Store among the AI products. So
wow,
if you want to process real-time news, let's say there's a news happening, any news, right? And you want to understand what it is, right? What is the context? Give me the left and right opinions on it. So it would actually give you a breakdown of what's happening, who said what, and you can ask it any question. Actually, I don't see that kind of a tool available anywhere else, right? And all of its models, they're trying to make it open source, I think, hopefully soon. I could be wrong with that, but that's the background with Grok, and it's in Grok 4, or right, the version right now it is Grok 4, and they're actively sharing the LLMs and whatnot. But largely it came out of XAI, and it connected with the real news, and all of the data that's out of X, Twitter, it's also available for Grok to process it. No other AI has this kind of, because all the presidents, all the leaders, entrepreneurs, they're all on X.
Yeah.
Right. So all of the data, everything that they're actually posting and tweeting, it's also available for the Grok AI to process it. So that's powerful.
Wow.
So that's the background of,
Okay, no, I agree. I don't necessarily want you to like pick out and be like, this is what you should use, because I get it. But I do feel like you do have programs that you use and you could speak to your experience on it. And I think that would be helpful because, you know what I mean? There's people like me, man. I don't have all the answers. I don't know. I don't live in the tech space. I try to find tools that'll help me maximize my time, do better. I just love to maybe know, what are you using as somebody who is super forward thinking, working in technology? What are you using to maximize your time to the best of your ability?
I use Gemini. Gemini is another Google's AI. So that is fantastic too. The images that Gemini are generating are sometimes even better. I could be biased because these models are evolving every day. Sure. Maybe next week, Grok is even better. So I love the images that Gemini generates. So I love that. Of course, I use Grok. Of course, I use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is great with structuring the content in a document format, throws out wonderful emojis and whatnot. It's more structured. It's good for reading, actually, if you're generating it with Grok. And these are three platforms I do use. I have also used Midjourney for, if you want to create a cinematic kind of like an image kind of a thing. So Midjourney is also phenomenal, right? So I've used this. I don't know. Besides that, we use like traditional tools like CRM and video editing tools and whatnot. Of course, we all use Riverside for the podcasting. For development, I use like, those are like development products like Visual Studio and Cursor. Cursor is another like development tool that we use for like software development. Okay. So that it has its own AI. It has Copilot within it. So Cursor is fantastic. And I think Office 365 also now has AI. I haven't used as much. Office 365, but those are some tools that immediately comes to top of my mind when it comes to I would say go beyond ChatGPT. I would encourage people to go beyond ChatGPT and try other tools because the models are different, right? Especially with the voice initiative that we were doing, actually, we have the capability to support 12 different AI providers and other AI providers. I'll just name them, something like Anthropic, DeepSeek, and these are some other AI providers just beyond the ChatGPT, Grok, and Gemini. Is there anything else that's coming that you're excited about? I'll give you an example. I've been looking into XR glasses because I feel like XR glasses are going to be super, super cool when they start to become a bit of a mainstream thing, right? Like none of us really want to wear the big Oculus Quests, but I do see like VR and XR, specifically augmented reality, becoming something super valuable to creators, podcasters, business owners, people putting on conferences. Like, I think they're going to be a huge, huge hit. I'd love to maybe have like your opinion on them, on what you've seen so far. Yeah. So we wrote a white paper on this entire topic. It's called Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, DeepIN, as we called it. So we wrote a white paper. Ashini wrote the white paper for us, and we published from Zadwell. So two companies that I would name is like Auki, Auki.ai, AUKI.ai, and Peak, PEAQ. So Peak is phenomenal. Peak and Auki are phenomenal. Peak is actually integrated with most of the companies that you can think of, like Bosch, Tesla, and so many other companies, actually, because I'll explain what DeepIN is in a second. So what happens after GPS, right? The moment, let's say you're in GPS, you're in a downtown setting. Yeah. Most of the times when you're in downtown, you lose GPS, right? Yeah. Let's say you get into a 30 floor building, you don't really have any way to navigate that building. It has happened to me many times when you're navigating a conference or anything like that. So this is actually beyond GPS. And if you want to be able to visualize, of course, they've started with the mobile phone, but the next step is to put it on the VR glasses and to be able to visualize within a building. So Auki does let's say you want to find that specific Thai noodles in that aisle or whatever, right? So you'll be able to search that product. And they've actually implemented in several grocery stores in Europe and in Asia. So you can just search a product and it'll actually tell you how to navigate to that noodles. Or within the store, right? So
So what you're saying is we don't have to look at the signs above the aisles anymore. We've completely gone beyond this. Technology is going to save the day for Oodle Noodle.
Yeah, and similarly for in a conference, right? Let's say you want to go meet Bob at that booth number 232. Where is 232, right? Sometimes it's difficult to go to.
This is true.
So you can just search the company, and then it'll help you navigate within a conference. So check out Auki and Peak. They're fantastic.
That's super cool. I wonder how they do it, because obviously it can't know exactly where you are if the GPS can't find you. That's really curious.
But you know what? Something very similar I just found out the last week here is like Canadian Tire Store. Like I was talking to somebody about how amazing their services and their training programs must be, because you walk in there and somehow doesn't matter who the staff is, they know it's aisle
They know where everything
17.
is. Yeah.
But they've got one better. If you go on the app and you pick your store you're in, it will direct you to the part you're looking for.
Oh, really?
Right? It'll light up and it's like beep, 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 hot,
On the app? Really?
Yes.
Oh,
and
wow.
it'll bring you in that aisle. Right?
Okay, because I'm so old school. I literally go to the website and I look for the aisle number on the thing I want.
and that's what I do too. But they're honing in on that, right? So
Cool.
One thing I want to touch on, just as we were speaking, I thought, okay, scaling, right? We're talking about scaling.
Yeah.
Scaling is actually what we have to recognize, so different to every industry as well.
Yes.
Right? So I was thinking of mine, that type of thing. my lights are going. I must not have moved in my office. It's not dark in here.
There you go. Whoa.
There you go.
Whoa. Now I'm not sure what happened.
Okay.
But one thing that was really cool that came up was it said like manufacturing, right? Scaling could mean designing modular assembly lines or outsourcing parts.
Yeah.
Right? We have just ordered a robot for laser welding, right? It's coming in. That is AI, right? That is not getting rid of humans. Somebody's going to have to operate it. But we've just ordered one. How is that different in that business? And then in real estate, scaling might be using admin staff, CRM tools, and marketing systems, so we can, serve a different aspect of the business. So I think when we talk about scaling, anybody listening, every industry, every customer base is different. So I think what will happen with AI is a little bit of somebody will try to grab and go, how can I work that with my company? It may not be the right tool for them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to get real specific and say, because with applications, with apps, I think in VJ, this came to me when you were talking about the different, the X
VR.
right?
X,
VR,
okay.
but even Grok, right?
Grok.
Versus GPT,
Right.
those types of things. Everyone, we may need 3 of them, right? Because we had none before. But I love what you said is you try this one and then the next week something else comes out that may be more applicable.
Yeah.
Right. What I don't want to do in my businesses is sit back and go, okay, we're going to focus on this for the next 12 months or 2 years and use this app, because we may just need to change it. And one thing I've found with apps, which is amazing, just this year versus 3 years ago, they offer plugins, right? Or whatever you want to call them, quicker than they ever have, right? Does this work with, CRMs were really bad, I think, for here's our CRM. This is the way it is. It might be a little bit clunky in some ways, but you'll adapt.
Sure.
Now, does this work with my inventory system? Oh, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, it does now. Does this work with this? Yes, it does now. Does this work with AI? Yes, absolutely. It's going to now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Like creating integrated ecosystems. And that was actually something that Vijay, you had mentioned, in the presentation that you did for us, is that it's not so much about this program or that program. It's about how does it all work together to maximize value, to save you the most amount of time, to automate the most amount of things. And what you talked about as well was don't just think about one thing. Think about every repetitive task, every task that you do that's monotonous, that you have to do every single day, and find that way to automate it. And eventually, all the repetitive, monotonous tasks will be automated, and all of your time can be focused on the things that only humans can do, which is going to maximize the value of your time, essentially scaling your company alongside it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, we got 2 minutes to wind it up. It's 11:30.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, why don't we? Well, we do that. We talk a lot. Amazing. Why don't we just lead into the fact that next episode is episode 35. 35.
35.
Going strong.
25.
Going strong.
Awesome.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
everyone. Thank you for tuning in today. It was an amazing episode. Yeah, I mean, like, there's no single answer. And we are trying to share the best of what we all know. So go do your own research. I'm a big fan of doing your own research.
Absolutely.
Your own research. And then come to your own conclusion. And so one answer is not the final answer. So go dig deep and find out. And if you have any questions, just connect with us. We'll be happy to help you. So thanks for tuning in, and bye now.
Till next time.
Hustlers.